I want to start recording more videos when I think of the success story. So just in between tasks. So just quickly stop what I was doing so that I could record this while it's fresh in my mind. Success story of when I was feeling like I was really in the vibration of what I wanted to create. Well, I was already creating it. So I talk about being in a vibration and creating an identity of that which you desire. So in this case, this little story is about when I went to London to work at the BBC. It's one of my favourite stories, and how I feel about creating what you want, or we may want to say manifestation, creating your dream life, creating your desires, is really believing that one's going to do this. And I like to tell a story to illustrate these main factors, I believe, like a formula for when you do create something. And there's a few factors, I believe, but belief would be absolute number one. When we expect it, we know it, we trust it, all those words. And one of my favorite words is faith. I knew unequivocally that I was going to London to work at the BBC. So I have mentioned this in other stories as well, and I may do another video particularly on that story, but I just want to say one scene that came to mind that I hadn't recalled for many years, possibly since it actually happened. I talk about going to the BBC and having that trusted, knowing, unequivocal belief that I was doing it. And it's like a childlike belief, like no one could tell me I couldn't do it, because it seemed like a big goal at the time. And this is before the internet, and there's more to the story, but I just want to get to this scene and the memory I had today. It was, wow, I didn't even really know at the time what that meant. I knew a bit, I knew I could understand a little bit, but now I have full understanding of it. Okay, so the scene is, I had already started working at the BBC, I feel, and I wasn't sitting out the front of the building, the massive building in London. I was near there, but I wasn't out the front. So there's no way that this person could know that I was working there, or that that was something that I was doing or was aspiring to do, was be at the working at the BBC, which I was currently doing in this scene I'm describing. And I was working there as a temp because of Australian visa, and I could only work there for temporary period of time. However, I went totally into this vibration of I work at the BBC. I felt like really important. I was learning a lot. I was talking about it a lot. I was going back to where I lived in London with all my friends, a big house full of people saying, mostly travellers, saying, I work at the BBC, it's so exciting, I'm learning what I can, I'm really interested in production, I want to learn production. I was more interested in production than being on the camera, whereas now I'm more interested in being on the camera. So I'll cut to the scene and the words and everything that played out. I was sitting there, I feel that I was waiting for something like maybe the tube. However, I wasn't right at the front of the BBC. So a man randomly came up to me and said this sentence: are you a TV producer? I said, I was just like, yes, no, like, I'm just trying to recall what I said. I want to be a TV producer. I work at the BBC, and you could tell I was Australian, and we had a little chat. And I recall him just saying that he approached me because I looked like a TV producer, not necessarily someone he knew. And again, like, it's just so random. We say random. However, what I'm just going to unravel this now, as I only just thought of it before I recalled the memory, I should say. Now, a full understanding of why, I just want to go back to what he meant, and then, or everything is like our interpretation, by the way. So how I'm about to interpret that now is my interpretation. So it's unique to me. I was vibrating an identity of a TV producer, and I wasn't even near the BBC. So he randomly comes up to me and says, are you a TV producer? And I'm like, yes, I want to be. I would have said something like that. Why did he do that? I feel it was something like he thought he knew me, perhaps. So we had a very brief conversation and we said our goodbyes, and now I feel like there may have been something deeper there. However, who knows? Not to be not to dwell on that now. It's just a memory of how he said to me, "Are you a TV producer?" Okay, so I went home, talked to my best friend who was amazingly supportive, and we were of each other. And I was going to say that I started to preach to her, and we learned together. Law of attraction, I feel it wasn't called that back then, like it's mainstream now. This was many years ago, before the internet even. So we didn't have access to the internet even. This was books and just this passion, and then experiencing it in real life and coming home and saying, oh, I was sitting there thinking about the BBC and how much I love it and I love producing, and a random man come up to me and said, are you a TV producer? Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And I feel that I'm going to get some more clarity about this story and come back. So the lesson I want this, because every video I want there to be a gem of wisdom, a lesson, and something that you can apply to create your ideal reality. So this one today is definitely creating an identity, which I'll talk about more in my books and courses. And if you have a coaching session, you create an identity of that which you design, in this case, producing TV shows at the BBC in London. So a man randomly comes up and says, are you a TV producer? Because I'm vibing that. So if you wanted to be an actress, a singer, just say whatever your ideal profession is, your passion, and someone comes up to you and says, are you a, then you know that you're vibing that. And again, I'm just going to end with, there could be an infinity of reasons he asked me that. And there's infinite possibilities in a reality, like parallel realities, where we can be TV producer. So I'm not vibing that now. However, I'm vibing more actress and being in front of the camera. Though when I was vibing it then, I clearly was that. And someone actually said, are you a TV producer? So I'm sure I made my point clear. The takeaways here today and how to apply this is to feel, and it's like this wisdom that we hear all the time. And it's the same messages and it's the same wisdom as this is how we create. It's feeling and being and vibrating in the energy of that which you desire. In this case, TV producer, for you, something else. So whatever it is that you want to create that you currently don't have, start feeling how you would feel if you had that. And I'm just going to end with one way you can do this is to model someone else. However, I don't do that now. I tend not to model a particular person, as what I've learned so much in the last year about infinite possibilities is that I really want to be me, and I feel like me, and I am more me than ever. It's me like my true self. That's why I tend not to model myself on other people. However, you could look at someone you admire and it's like imagining that you have that, in this case, profession or lifestyle, everything that goes with that. So that's my takeaway and advice for today. Start feeling and believing that you are your desire. And if you have any other questions, please ask them in the comments and I'll answer them in the comments. Or you can email me, the link below, to inquire about private coaching if it's available. And I love hearing success stories, so please share, and thank you for watching.